Good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Come on with us to Mark 4. I want to talk about the Lord's teaching style, if you will, if that's even the right way to look at it. Mark 4, he's given several parables about the kingdom. And at verse 33 it says, "And with many such parables he spoke the word to them as they were able to hear it, but without a parable he did not speak to them. And when they were alone he explained all things to his disciples." I want you to think about how interesting verse 33 is, as it says, he spoke the word to them as they were able to hear it. Every teacher needs to do that. You have to consider those who you're teaching. You have to consider their ability, because different people are on different levels. There are those who are young in the faith. There are those who are mature in the faith. And you have to consider your audience, who you're talking to. And what you have to do is you have to tailor your teaching to them. I think you have to say the Lord did that. The parables, he used simple figures that anybody who wanted to understand, they could understand. And that's why the Lord did that. He did not want to talk over anybody's head. He did not want to sound like the rabbis and talk over everybody's head. He was trying to talk to everybody. So he came down to everybody's level. You have to tailor your teaching to them. What you have to do, another aspect, is you have to lay a foundation. Sometimes we want to chase so many different, we want to go 20 different ways in Bible study. What we need to do is we need to make sure we're laying a good foundation and build on it. Look over at verse 13 of the same chapter. After the parable of the sower, he says, "Do you not understand this parable? How then will you understand all the parables?" The parable of the sower is very foundational, and you build on it. And I think that's what good teachers do. Now also in verse 34 it says, "And when they were alone he explained all things to his disciples." There's a time for public teaching, but there's also a time for private teaching. And we need to make sure we're not neglecting either one, of course. In private teaching, you can tailor it even more to the individual. What you have to do to think about the Lord's teaching and to think about how we imitate him, you have to go slow. And sometimes you have to repeat yourself. And sometimes you have to explain it because people are not understanding. Because what we are trying to do is we are trying to get people to see. We're trying to get people to perceive. We're trying to get people to hear. We're trying to get people to understand matters of the kingdom and matters, of course, of the Lord. Trying to get them to turn so that the Lord can heal them. Hope you enjoyed this study. God bless you. Hope to see you tomorrow morning.